Good morning. It is the day after Mother's Day, and I just wanted to say to anyone who has ever nurtured a child, helped them with their development, happy Mother's Day. It's a great joy to encourage a young person to be successful in life and to grow and to be great, to become a great human being. So, happy Mother's Day. I had a great Mother's Day. I got lots of plant gifts. My hair's a mess today too. It's been a busy week. I haven't made a lot of content on the last week or so, but I'm going to try to get back out in the garden. We've had just a lot of family things going on and events, graduations, so super busy. But yesterday was perfect. It wasn't too busy. I got to see all of my children. I have 4 children, and I got some Mother's Day gifts. So we're going to take care of the guests today because there are some issues. Issue number 1 is that I have limited garden space left for big plants like perennial items like this gorgeous hydrangea. This actually got added to my wish list last week. I saw a little video on YouTube and somebody was showing off this hydrangea. It is called Eclipse, and you can see it is just stunning. It's got this gorgeous dark foliage, which I'm drawn to. So when I was at the garden center with my girls yesterday, just having a day, I saw it, and there was a sign. I think this actually got bent. I'm gonna have to fix that. That said the endless summer hydrangeas were 25% off, and I wasn't sure if it applied to this one because the sign was a little farther down with just the standard endless summer, the pink or the blue hydrangeas. So when I went to check out, I'm like, there was a sign that said 25% off. The cashier checked with someone else and they went ahead and gave it to me for 25% off. So I was so happy because I do not like to pay full price for plants. But look at how stunning. It's kind of like a, auspicious moment. It was on my wish list. It was on sale. It was Mother's Day, and I felt okay to indulge myself in something so beautiful. Technically, this is from my husband, and as well as this, my girls have made me some portrait of some of my camellias. I like to get handmade gifts from the kids when possible. And then this is from one of my sons. Anyway, so this is going to be problem number 2. So problem number 1, limited space. We got to figure out where to put this hydrangea today. We've got like 5 days of rain coming. I'd like to get some of this work done soon, but most likely it's not going to all happen today. Problem 2, I've always wanted this petunia. It's a super petunia. It's latte. I'm not sure if it's cafe latte or just latte. But can you see the color in there? It's very hard to describe. There's some browns, some grays, purple, but it gives like this blackish center effect. Definitely you can see the gray. It's just gorgeous. So this container is nothing but this latte super petunia. And then we've got this filler here, which, is it fan flower? I think that's fan flower. I have to look that up. I'll put it on the screen if I'm wrong. So my girls were getting kind of exasperated at me at the garden center because I was taking forever. I wanted to get one of these containers, possibly, that was on sale. They were 25% off yesterday, I think, for the 12-inch containers. Various different annuals. None of them really spoke to me until I saw this one because I really wanted this petunia. It's been on my wish list as well. Have never seen it in person at any garden center. And they only had it in these big containers. I usually do not buy containers like this because I can make my own just by buying the plants cheaper and then making my own creation. But I went ahead and got it when I saw this one. It was the only one that was just packed full of these super petunias. And so what we're going to do, we're going to disassemble this. I know you're like, what are you talking about? Do not do that. We are. We're going to take it apart because my guess is there's probably at least 4 to 6 separate of these latte plants in this container. There may only be 1 or 2 or so of the fan flower. I'm going to disassemble this whole container. We're going to pot up individual plants after we prune them up a bit because they are getting leggy. That's another thing I don't like about these big containers they sell like around Mother's Day for gifts is they get leggy. They get root bound quick. Because look, they've got limited space. There's probably, let's say, 8 plants in here, 6 to 8 plants. They're definitely getting root bound. We're going to separate the petunias, take out the fan flower, and then I've ordered, but there is a delay. I have ordered twice the little rings to hold up some new containers. You can see the slugs have been over here nonstop on this poor guy. So we're going to put 4 more of those brackets, and I've got the same pots. We're going to fill up with some good quality moisture control potting mix, and then we're going to plant those cafe latte or just latte petunias in between each set of the black petunia. So I'm going to keep the black petunia, but we're going to get rid of this petunia. We're going to move those maybe out front somewhere. I'm kind of not loving the 2 together. I thought I was going to love the 2 together. I thought the dark center there and the hot pink would pick up the black petunia there, but I'm just not loving it. The leaf structure is different. So what we're going to do, 1 container of just the black petunia, 1 container of the latte, 1 container of the black petunia again. So we will have 8 total. 4 of the latte, 4 of the black petunia. So I have to wait on the brackets to do that project. In the meantime, we are going to fertilize this guy just in case he hasn't been fed in a while. Now the nursery I bought this from does do a good job with their plants, but it feels really dry. You can definitely feel a lot of roots, so it's definitely getting root bound. So we're going to feed it. We're going to water it first. No, we're not even going to water it because I've got all that rain coming. We're going to feed it, and then when I get the brackets in, we're going to redo this deck railing in our petunias. It's going to look so pretty. Now, onto the hydrangea. You're going to help me figure out where to put it. I have a couple ideas. It's going to stay in the backyard because, oh, I just felt rain. I'm running out of time. The deer, they will eat this down to nothing if I put this out front. I almost was tempted to. I had a perfect spot. This particular guy needs part sun, 2 full sun. It would have been perfect out front, but I don't feel like I can battle the deer to keep it safe. So we're going to go look around the backyard, and we're going to get this guy put into its new location. This is my camellia area. The farther away from the trees, the more sun. So I was thinking maybe after I put down the mulch, somewhere in this area. Technically, I still have 2 planters available with planting space. I could just move this one, or maybe even keep it right here. It might get enough sun, so that's one option. This container possibly moved out. I do have 1 empty container back there too, but that would be way too much shade. So the possibility is somewhere in this general area after I get the mulch done. Option 2, well, here's my other hydrangea. This is the one I planted probably 15 plus years ago. It's a traditional, just a traditional basic hydrangea. It always is blue because I have acidic soil. You can see it's starting to get a little touch of blue on the edges. Now, hydrangeas are technically not a good choice for dogs, right? I've had Tonto 7 years. I've had this for over 15 plus years. He, as far as I know, I've never seen him mouth it or chew on it. So I've kept it in the backyard. Everything else, most everything else in my backyard is dog friendly, dog safe. This is on the lower scale of toxicity compared to other things that could be very, very bad for a dog or a cat. So I kept it. I kept my hydrangea. And now, you know, we're going to have the new hydrangea back here. I think it'll be fine. I'll keep an eye on it. If it looks like he's going after it, trying to eat on it, I'll have to relocate it to the front. There's Tonto. He's been a good boy. And here's Jeffrey's site, my cat that died last spring, a year ago. You can see the forget-me-nots will be blooming soon. I need to clean up his area. There is some phlox in here as well that I want to relocate. Oh, there's some blooming right there. How pretty. I definitely need to clean this up. So the other place I'm thinking, and there's another plant back here in the backyard that really is not the best choice for a dog. And it is this columbine, this native columbine. It's huge right now. I could divide it. I could move it out front, but it really, really loves this spot. So, I don't know. he hasn't bothered it. I have not seen him munching or chewing. So for now, I think I'm going to leave it. This is my second option for the hydrangea. I'm actually going to relocate these blueberry bushes out front and use them in the landscape. They are root bound. This pot is overgrown. The muscari has taken over the container, and I want to reuse these containers somewhere else. I don't like the look of them anymore. In fact, some of them have actually deteriorated over the years, as you can see. So I want to redo this whole area. I'll leave the alpine strawberries. They're so cute, so delicate. They do really well in low part sun, even some shady spots. And this area is in fact shady, but it gets sun. The sun comes up over here, so there is a patch of sun. And when the trees are not full of leaves, it's really good sun for most of the day until the sun gets way up there. But I don't know if that's going to be enough to sustain it. But this is where I'm thinking, in a pot, so I can take it with me when we move. And I happen to have a pot right here. That would make things super convenient. So that's option 2. So we have 2 options. I really am equally torn between the 2 at this point. Look at how pretty this is. I love this. This is matte silver painted Japanese fern with some dark side of the moon. Still me. I absolutely love this combo. The colors look so pretty together. But there's a lot of shady things back in here. A more columbine, some purple coneflower back there. I have a ton of purple coneflower also in this bed. We need to relocate when we get to doing all of this cleanup. And here is an example of one right there from last year. So it'll flower this year. All right, so there we go. What would you choose? This spot, which I think it would do okay. I mean, I've got these fragrant tea olive bushes here, and they do fine, and they actually are full sun plants. I need to actually take cuttings, trim this down a bit. Oh no, I thought it had gotten killed from the winter. I really hoped it was dead, but look, there is a passion fruit vine alive and climbing. Need to pull that out ASAP. I'm sure there will be more. That is going to be a battle all year. Oh, and I just stepped on something. Oh, look at that beautiful petite knockout rose. Absolutely loves this location. It's done great. But man, look at that huge tunnel that either a mole or will created just today, just tonight. And it looks like they killed one of my forget-me-not plants, possibly, because they've tunneled that way as well. The critters. I just don't even know what to say about it. Okay, imagine the Eclipse Hydrangea, 3 to 5 feet tall, 3 to 5 feet wide, planted in a container. The container we looked at over there, it's like a dark charcoal gray-black color. Right there. I'll leave the alpine strawberries. Those 2 containers will be gone. What do we think? Now, I'm tempted to go ahead and take some cuttings off of the sky and try to root them, propagate them, so that I will actually have more of this plant. I know that's horrible to already start thinking about propagating, and when I haven't even decided where to put this guy or gal. It's kind of pretty, isn't it? It's a lot of dark foliage compared. I've got just lots of green going over in this area. I do have some darker coral bells over there. You see? It's pretty. And a little petite rose I grew from seeds several years ago. It's called Angel Wings. I didn't know if it would do well here in this low part sun location, but it's actually done quite well. And then I've got this lilac that is just in this container until we can move and I can put it in the ground. It is thirsty every day. I cannot keep it watered enough. It really needs to be potted up again, but I'm not going to do that. We wouldn't be able to move that pot if I potted up again. It's a huge pot. It's super heavy. Maybe I will just try to flood it really well one day and put a thick layer of some kind of mulch to kind of keep that moisture in. And you can see we've got a lot of just green, green, green back here too. So this is spot number 1. It will get morning sun. It will get a lot of sun when the trees do not have their leaves. And I did Google it, and some of the websites said this can do fairly well in low part sun and shade. I can actually feel the sun on it right now. It is raining. There's the sun. There's a little bit of clouds opening up. So it would get some sun. It does look pretty here. Let's go look at location 2 and then make a decision. And then we've got this option where we put it somewhere over in this area in one of these whiskey barrel planters. Not necessarily this close to a camellia. It could be off on its own a little bit. It would give it more space. This is a much larger container. And it would be close to the hydrangea over here. So, what do y'all think? I think I'm going to listen to my gut. My gut is telling me, my heart, I need to put it over there under the tree where we have those blueberries right now. So I think that's what I am going to do. First step is to move these containers out to the front. I've disturbed some carpenter ants. So I'm just going to move the containers a little bit at a time, give the ants time to evacuate, because I don't want to get bit trying to carry these out front. And then we'll get busy cleaning up. You can see I've got a volunteer raspberry. I used to have raspberries in this area. Tons of coneflower I will relocate. Lots of coral bells back in through here and some ferns. I do have another fern I think I'll put in the ground right there to fill in that spot. We've got some steel bee back in here. And looks like some forget-me-nots that are trying to produce some seed pods. Lots of stuff that needs to get cleaned up. I'm going to put a new layer of mulch in through here as well. But first, I need to focus on getting these guys relocated. I have a feeling this container is plumb full of ants, just by the look of that soil. And I was 100% correct, and they are mad as fire, and I bet if I get too close, they will be crawling all over me. Wow, they are not happy. I don't feel safe over here. So I'm going to let these guys have their time. The rain is kind of drizzling on and off. Maybe that will help disperse them a little bit more too. I just need to keep my distance. I don't like the creepy crawlies on me. I don't like when they bite me. And they probably would love to because they're angry. They are very, very angry. You can see they're moving their little egg sacs. Wow. Yeah, that's a lot. It's a few days later, and I just left this guy here as I was trying to make a decision, and you can see how wilty it is in the sun. So definitely need some shade here. And the pot is not completely dry. I just felt that. So I'm 90% sure we're going to go ahead, put it right in this section. I still have ants everywhere. But I really want to move these planters out so I can make room for the hydrangea. I guess I'll have to get out my water hose and see what we can do. There are some things I need to relocate real quick first before we bring the hydrangea. So they're definitely still living in that pot. And yeah, I'm not going to try to pick that pot up anytime soon. We're probably going to have to treat. Finally, I'm getting around to getting this gorgeous hydrangea potted up. First, I need to get some native soil. I just happened to need it to put that Veronica into the ground, so I used some of that soil. After I put some broken sticks, branches in the bottom of the pot for drainage, I added some of that native soil we collected. Just a little, just to help with moisture control in the pot. Fertilizer, slow release there, and did some trimming as I potted up. And here's the finished result. It looks pretty good. Watered well. I do need to add some mulch.
2,000 years later.
It is many weeks later, and you can see my cafe latte or just latte petunias are still in the pot, but they do look pretty. I'll tell you why. This project was kind of slowed down with some health issues. I hurt my back and was out of the garden for about a week and a half. But when I managed to get some of these brackets up that I had purchased, they don't work. The ones that came with the house, you can see it's got this long arm. The ones I purchased do not even have an arm. It's just flush. So it doesn't work at all. I cannot get the pot in there. So in order to conclude this video, we're going to go look at my hydrangea, see how it's doing. But we are going to go ahead and cut all my petunias back. We're going to divide the pots that have the two different colors here. You can see they're getting leggy. And then I'm going to have to come up with a new plan, because I've looked everywhere for the long arm holders online and in stores. Cannot find them. Yeah, so I'm going to show you what I'm thinking. So what I'm thinking about is using this setup here that I have for some of the petunias. I'm thinking about the purpley dark fuchsia kind of ones right there. And then I have about 6 of these pots. I might even have more, but let's just say 6. What if I just sat them on the railing with the Latte Petunia, and then in the containers I already have anchored, we'll just have only the black petunia. I don't know if that'll look weird. I'm going to try it because I don't know what else to do. I can't wait all summer to find the proper anchor for these pots, because it may not ever happen, right? And in the meantime, these guys are suffering. They need to get fed. They need to get cut back. The pots are getting really overgrown. I'm sitting here debating what to do. The baby fawns, there's 2, and the mommy, they are cutting back into the wood, so they should be coming this way here in just a second. I also thought maybe I could put some petunias down in that pot. I did have lettuce. Yeah. I may, not sure which color would we put there. Maybe the black. And then I'm going to pull out all the lettuce here. And I could put some petunias in here as well. I've got 2. And this is the original mother that was in my house. The plant I actually bought last year. She needs a lot of help. So maybe I'll cut her back, feed her, put her in a new pot, or she could go down there in that container. I may do that. See if the deer are coming. Yeah, I'm going to pause and then I'll turn it back on in just a second. My dog is in the yard, so she's being very cautious. Here comes the babies. And here we are, getting close to the 3rd week of June. And this is my hydrangea. It's not looking too happy at this point. I don't love it in this pot. I'm thinking about putting bricks underneath to raise it up, to give it more height. You can see the blooms are starting to fade. Probably need to do some pruning. About time to cut back some flowers on my blue hydrangea as well. But yes, I think I need to raise this up. So I'm going to go get some bricks and see if that helps. Okay, so the bricks are underneath the pot. I do think it looks better elevated. And as the plant grows and fills out more, it'll look even taller and wider for this space. But I think it looks perfect there. This was a good location choice. It looks like the pot is getting dry, even though we just had a ton of rain, but we haven't had rain for 2 days. So time to water, time to put some mulch on top to retain some of that moisture. So as of now, my little Mother's Day Eclipse Hydrangea is going to be happy in this spot. I'm going to be happy with where it's located, and try to take care of it as best as I can. If you have any tips, please comment below.
A few moments later.
The real feel outside is 106. It is very, very hot. It is the day after we finally got that hydrangea squared away. Pretty happy. I did end up giving it some bloom formula, as well as watering super well. I have to water again today probably. But I'm going to bite the bullet even though it's super hot. Petunias are not, you know, super happy in really hot environments. We're going to take care of those petunias today. I cannot wait any longer. Can you see what's on the table behind me? It looks horrible. Those plants are dying. We have to do something, and we have to do it today. Just walked out into the furnace. The sun is currently tucked back up there behind a tree. So we're gonna work. I've got shade. You can see my ginger is looking happy. You can see that at this point, June 23rd, these petunias look really rough, really ragged. What I'm gonna do, I'm tempted to do cuttings for propagation, but I'm not gonna worry about that today. I'm just gonna worry about getting these guys cut down. I'll leave about a third of the plant, and we're gonna divide. We're gonna take out the pink, we're gonna leave the black, we're gonna fertilize. Probably give it some bloom formula, but I'm also going to put down some flower based, maybe, well, I'll go see what I have. But we will feed them well, water them well after we do a severe cutback. They're still a little bit pretty, but you can see even the flowers are getting smaller and smaller as the plant gets lankier and lankier. Yeah, you can see this is already so root bound in this pot. So let us get my pruners. All right, so we're just going to start cutting. And I'm not going to worry about cuttings right now. I may later today, but not right now. I'm just cutting right above the leaf node. There might actually be some seeds in here. Let me see. Oh, maybe. Yes, there's a seed. Oh my goodness. There is a seed. I'm going to save that. Definitely going to save that. Maybe I should check all of these for seeds. So the seeds are only coming off of the hot pink variety, but we're going to save those for sure. Petunias are so sticky. They're almost kind of like touching bean leaves. I think I'm going to leave that one flower because it's so pretty. Picking off any old yucky leaves. Of course, the slugs love petunias, right? So now we're going to divide the plant. See all the roots. So I just divided. This is the pink petunia. You can see, I think some of the seeds fell. We've got some baby petunias there that I will absolutely pot up. And then this is the black petunia that will stay in the pot, but he will get some granular fertilizer and new soil and get watered really well. So petunia seeds in here, petunia babies. They are so tiny and so cute. This is a sterile plant because I'm 99% sure it still has a patent on it. So all the seeds and babies are coming from just this basic run-of-the-mill kind of garden petunia. And that's fine. Free is free. So I've got a little bit of moisture control potting mix. I'm going to put down some Osmocote. It is a 14-14-14. So this is not something I use on edible plants, but I'm good with it for flowers and things that bloom a lot that I don't eat. But it says no burning pledge. We shall see. Let's see what the directions are. 1 capful. No, I just need a little bit in a pot. So let me see. We'll just look at bedding plants. So 1 tablespoon per 4-inch plant. That is about what we're going to have is a 4 to 6 inch bedding plant. So I'll just mix that tablespoon in this new soil, clean up some of the soil, but keep all the roots, water super well. Actually, I think I'll water super well and then put down the fertilizer. Root system was really extensive, so I did take some off. Got him in the pot. We're going to flood it, water him super well, then put down that granular fertilizer, water again, And then at the very end, I'll top it with soil and then give it a bloom formula. This guy is going to be so happy. I'm so sorry I waited so long to do this petunia. This poor plant. And this is one of my favorite plants. I can't believe I've neglected them so much this past couple months. Thoroughly drenched. A tablespoon of our fertilizer. This guy is soaking in water as well, so he's not in too much shock right now, hopefully. I'm going to backfill with some new potting mix. And then we will have one container completely done, ready to go back in its spot. Really excited to see how he looks all alone in the pot. And then we've got several more to do. You don't have to watch, but I'll be back probably in about 30 minutes. And then we're going to tackle that huge Mother's Day gift that I got. 2 down, 2 more to go. But because the real fill now is creeping around 107, even though I'm still in the shade, I think it's time we tackle what I've been procrastinating doing for so long. Is this Mother's Day pot. Look at how wild and crazy it is, guys. We have got to fix this. And we will. It'll look so much better. I have been saving the cuttings just in case I get some energy or just can't help myself. I will propagate some of these perhaps, or I may just compost them, but I'll probably try to propagate some. I put the babies here in this little pot, and I've got a bunch of petunia seeds in here and petunia pods that have a ton of seeds in them. So I'll just dry these out really well and then store them. So I'm going to clear some of this off so we have room to work and get this done. And here she is out of the pot. You can see the roots. It's not as bad as I was expecting, to be honest. But we can start to see the structure of each plant and where we are going to separate. You can see these have gotten so long and lanky. All right, I'm going to get busy and I'll be back in a minute to show you how many plants we actually had in this container. Alrighty, this looks gorgeous. I'm so surprised. And I'm also surprised that it is actually the main center plant in this arrangement. And there's only 4 petunias total. I've already removed 2. And there's something sprouting. They almost look like maybe some of my baby bok choys that came from over in a little planter not too far away. But it could be something else. But it definitely looks like a little brassica, doesn't it? All right, so I'm going to keep working. This is hopeful at this point. I'm really happy about these guys. And it seems like it likes to root because I accidentally pulled this one. Finally done. You can see this pot looks so much better. It just has our Superbenia in it now and 3 of the kind of like the hot pink purpley petunia. Put one of the black petunias down in there. That was the original plant that I bought last summer. Kept it as a house plant, took cuttings, and that's how I got all of these black petunia plants. Put one of the hot pink petunia plants right there. Petunias and peppers are great companions. And then we've got 4 of the black petunias in the containers, all done, ready to grow and look beautiful soon. And I had 1 of the lattes left over that I put down in this pot. Yes, it is dark. It doesn't look dark, but it is dark. The camera is very deceiving, but you might see some lightning bugs if we're lucky. They're out right now. Oh, there's quite a few over to my right. You just have to be patient, but they are definitely out here. And in here, 2 latte plants each. Took out all the old lettuce. These are going to look gorgeous in just a month or so. So you'll have to come back for a garden tour. Got my table cleaned up. Cleaned up most of my mess. So glad to have this project done, guys. All right, well, I hope you're having a great month, week, summer. I'll talk to you soon. Oh, I do have a lot of cuttings. And I think I'm going to just let myself say, Heather, just let them go. Don't worry about it. I'll throw these out into the woods. The deer will absolutely love them. They love to eat petunias. All right, guys. Hope you're having a wonderful night because I'm going to go get a shower I'm going to edit this video and be so glad to be done with this month and a half, almost 2 month long adventure.